I truly believe in my heart of hearts that Joseph will get another chance. I really do.
Hey, I believe it too. I really do. I've kind of accepted my fate when I signed up to be Michael's wife. That's a hard pill to swallow. Doing this for so long, I struggled in the beginning, and I'm not gonna say that I don't still struggle, because obviously I do. I hit rock bottom this week. I was ready to walk away this week yet again. It's really looking at, okay, well, why was this crime committed? Let's look at it. Let's look at the whole picture. What was the situation prior to this? And I think there's also a thing where prison wives have to hold themselves to this standard of being loyal no matter what they get put through. Well, I have to be loyal to him, like I have to do this, or I have to stay with him, or I have to, and it's like, no, you don't have to.
Because a lot of the time these people do get out and no one cares about the things that happen to them behind bars. And it's like, that will matter when they come out and they have issues that were unresolved, or they didn't get to program, or didn't,
Have some discussion topic that I thought I would share with you guys.
Prison wives versus prison girlfriends. Is there a difference in respect?
Do you hide it or own it? Is it shame or empowerment?
Do kids benefit or suffer more from keeping contact with an incarcerated parent?
This is for the prison wives. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass.
We have so many feelings. Do we want to talk about feelings, Paige?
Do I want to, or should we?
Do we want? We don't want to, obviously, because we're, feeling it. We were feeling it, but I feel like talking about it, A, helps, B, probably can help some other people too. So, but yeah, I mean, we've been feeling it.
Yeah, I think Gigi and I all took we're doing like a marathon race where like I had it first. I passed the baton to her then, and then she carried out and finished the race for us of our lives. Of us just like processing our lives, like,
Yeah, and I crashed out before I even got to the finish line, probably. So, yeah. Well, you want to start, since you're the first baton holder here. You want to start how you were feeling?
Yeah, y'all. So Gigi and I just figured that we would be real with you guys and kind of just show you a glimpse inside our heads. I know a lot of this podcast is us trying to, help others and uplift everyone that is on this journey, because it is so hard and there are so many things that are bringing you down, or us down, or our loved ones down. I don't know what it was, if it was just I was sick when this all happened. So I think sometimes when I'm sick and I'm in my head, I just tend to catastrophize everything even more. And I don't know what happened, but I had some kind of, oh no, I do actually, I do know what happened. I'll just be completely honest, one of Joseph's very best friends, someone that he was incarcerated with, was a cellie with him, is still one of his, he would call it one of his best friends from the inside, was released. And that's absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? Like we advocate on here. We want people to be released. I don't want, especially people that need to be released, that should not be in prison, that have served their time and could really be a positive impact on this world. And Joseph Cellie, who was released, is one of those guys. So it's like, it's bittersweet. So it's like, it's sad that, Joseph kind of, it gives him a moment to reflect on his sentence, but also the bittersweet of being so happy and excited to see what his friend is going to do with his life and all the positive impact it's going to have. And I think, seeing pictures of this person, being out and about and living life and being happy, and, I think it might have just sent my head on this spiral where, I don't want to sound dumb when I say this, because I know people will be like, your husband has life without parole. That's basically containing him to a life behind bars forever, if the system has anything to say with it. But, there's this part of my head that doesn't let that sentence fester. Like I truly believe in my heart of hearts that Joseph will get another chance. I really do. I don't know why, but my brain,
Hey, I believe it too. I really do. I believe it. I believe he's doing the things that he needs to do, and he's in a system that believes in second chances. So I think I'm with you. And I always say, like, I feel like Joe will get that
And
chance. I do.
I
I
pray
always
I
do.
pray he does. And it's thankfully he is in California, and thankfully he has,
Mhm.
decided to turn his life completely around and do everything that he needs to do. He's in school, he's a mentor, he's a substance abuse counselor running counseling sessions in there, something he would have never imagined doing when he first went to prison. And I think kind of just the reality of we it's a very real possibility that we won't ever have our happy ending and get like our walks on the beach or like our random nights at home when we just, want to relax and don't do anything. Like my brain, I think, is so much set in the, oh, that can't happen. Like that just can't happen. That sometimes when I stop and I really think about it, and my head is in that bad space, I will spiral. And that's what happened. I kind of just like stepped back, and I was just like, you can ask Gigi, I was crying to her. I was crying to a few of my friends about it. And I was just like, it's the realness of his sentence that, and like the realness of the world and everything that just like kind of hit me like a fucking train. And I was like down and
Yeah.
out, you know?
Yeah. And I was telling you, like, this is like, I don't think if your loved one had, I mean, anybody that has a loved one that's incarcerated, but especially if you have like a longer
Mm-hmm.
sentence or a life sentence, I was saying, like, these feelings are completely normal, and you shouldn't dismiss them. I think you should feel them. I think it's real to feel them. I don't think you're not being real with yourself if you don't feel them. So I was trying to. I mean, I've been there. I was there after you. I've done it a billion times before, and it's just part of the sentence that we both agreed to be with these people who have this type of sentence. And it's not that like, oh well, what he's got, so you just need to suck it up. That, I mean, that's like the worst thing that you can
Mm-hmm.
say to a prison wife, or, oh, it'll get better. And yeah, that's nice, but it's not what needs to be said. What needs to be said is, these feelings are very valid, and you have every right to go through them and think through them and work through them. And part of that is, making yourself stronger in essence, because you come out of the flames like a phoenix, that rises from the ashes, and you learn more about yourself in that process. You grow in that
Mm-hmm.
process. And it's not to say that it won't ever happen again, because shit, I mean, it happened to me. I mean, it happened right after you. It happened to me. And, but I want people to understand that even though you have someone with a life sentence, doesn't mean you accept it. But it's sometimes the acceptance is hard. It's very hard,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you don't want to accept it, because those people that believe that their loved ones are coming home, those are the ones that come home. Like, those are the ones that get the second chance. And if you see that and you don't believe and have faith in that, then obviously, or hope in that, then how are you going to survive? And that's me. I'm that person. I'm that person that doesn't believe good things are going to happen. And I've kind of accepted my fate when I signed up to be Michael's wife. And that's hard. That's a hard reality. That's a hard pill to swallow. And even after doing this, we just made 9 years, and doing this for so long, I struggled in the beginning, and I'm not going to say that I don't still struggle, because obviously I do. I mean, I hit rock bottom
Mm-hmm.
this week. I was ready to walk away this week yet again. So, these are real feelings. I know that a lot of you were like, absolutely not, ma'am. No, ma'am. You ain't like, and so I was like, yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not going to walk away. I'm not, because this is the person I choose to be with. But holding on to everything and writing that sentence with him is hard, especially with, like you said, the climate going on, especially here in Louisiana. And we'll talk about that. I mean, that was a trigger for me. That was a major trigger for me. Hearing what our attorney general is trying to do right now. And that set me back, and it's like, I'll never win. We'll never win anything, basically. And I felt so defeated, and then I felt deflated, and then I started overthinking and spiraling, and obviously that led me to where I am. And I made myself go to visit yesterday, because I knew if I didn't, I would still be in that frame of mindset. I knew that, I would still be spiraling and thinking those things like I'm ready just to give up. It would be just so much easier just to give up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm
So,
glad you went.
yeah. And I left early. I wasn't my allergies are terrible. I wasn't feeling great. I was falling asleep standing up. I wasn't 100%, but I went and I saw my husband, and it was what we needed. I needed that. It'd been 3 weeks, and I know for some of y'all it's like I could do that in my sleep, bitch. But I think visiting does really help, and does really help to bring that connection, and that that couples moment, those moments that most couples have every day. It allows you to have that together, and we needed that. So that helped me to feel better, and me to walk away going, okay, I'm doing this. It sucks. It's hard, but I love this man, and I don't want to be with someone else out here just to be with someone else out here. It kind of reaffirmed that for me yesterday. So
That's what I feel like people that don't have an incarcerated loved one just don't get it, because it's like, it's not that, there aren't thousands of people out here that are like, oh, let me save you, or like blah blah blah. It's like, save me from what? Like, that's my person, that's my forever. And like you said, we knew what we signed up for when we entered into this, and it's just kind of, sometimes it's like almost like weather, how like you just have to like weather the storm and like stand there and be there when the rainbow comes, almost.
yeah. And there's always a rainbow. There always is at the end of every storm. But some of the storms can get really messy. But it's all about finding yourself through them. Now, I will say this: if there are some people who are in relationships and they're not happy, that's not what I'm saying, and I don't want people to get misconstrued with that, because there are some people in prison relationships that are literally miserable, and that's a time where you have to self-reflect and say, is this really something that's good for me? Yes, this relationship does put a lot on me, but it's where I want to be at the end of the day. Like, there are times where I say, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. But I really say that just in the moment. And I think, okay, well, I want to go see my husband. Like, at the next day I was like, or 2 days later, I want to go see my husband. Like, I want to go. I don't feel great, but I'm going to go. And, I knew that, like, I don't want people to get like, well, if you're not happy, you should leave. That's not what I'm saying at all. So, at the end of the day, I love this man. This is, like you said, our person. These are our people. And I'd rather have this here than be with someone else and be in an unhappy marriage, or not really in love with somebody. So, yeah. Well, that was a nice little chat. We went into our feels. Thanks for being here with us, and hopefully, you know that you're not alone if you do feel that way. But welcome to, holy crap, episode 68 of Love Within Walls, the Prison Wife podcast. It's your friendly host, Gigi, here.
And your friendly host,
And I'm here with...
Paige. Hello.
Yay. All right. Well, welcome, friends. And we're going to go ahead and get our party started. And we'll talk about all the things with what up with that in just a second. But we wanted to give a huge shout out to this week's episode 68 sponsor, our Patreon fam. We love you guys so much. We just put out episode 26 last week. We will have more coming hopefully this week. And we love you guys, and we're going to do all kind of stuff. I want to plan all kind of stuff with Paige to do some behind the scenes stuff in Vegas. Post exclusively for Patreon. Because you guys support us. You're with us every month. You're here and you support our pod at least once a month. They support our pod. So thank you, Patreon fam, and thank you, OG Wallers, for this wonderful episode.
We love y'all.
We definitely love you guys so much. All right, are we ready for what up with that, Paige?
Oh, born ready.
All right, here we go.
What up with that?
What up with that?
All right, it is time for What Up With That Legislation. Ooh, hopefully they like that one because I sang that
That's
one
pretty
just for y'all.
good.
As you can, I'm in the sprightly mood today. All right, so I'm like full of allergy medication. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, Paige, do you have anything for What Up With
I
That?
do. The FCC poised to allow prison cell phone jamming. I
Yes, I
saw
did
a
see
few
that.
articles about this, so I had to read into it. The FCC, led by Chairman Brendan Carr, is preparing to vote on a rule change anticipated to be effective September 30th of this year that would allow state federal prisons to jam contraband cell phone signals within their facilities. Initially hearing this, you might be like, okay, well, cool. Like, I mean, you shouldn't have a cell phone anyway. Like, that sounds like something that should be beneficial. However, I can kind of see what some advocates and people on the other side are saying is that this development comes within years of the restrictions and them trying to do this and them not being allowed to with guidelines. So it's obviously a safety precaution on the COs and on the inside that there is no hidden communication that they don't know about or anything that is happening that shouldn't be happening. So they, of course, view it as a necessity for security. However, there have been multiple wireless industry groups that have warned that interfering with jamming any kind of legitimate communication will cause issues, including causing issues for emergency services. So if they have to
Yep.
call, the fire company or the EMS or any kind of emergency service, that could cause issues with this new jammer that they're putting in. It would just mark a substantial shift in how prisons are handling contraband devices if they do this. And, I understand the safety for the people on the inside, but I also, as long as they have something to take care of this possible issue, because that to me is a very big, con to this.
Correct. I agree. And I'm just thinking also, like, do phone? I don't even know anymore because I feel like I don't even have a house phone. Do phones work when the power's out?
Hell if I know. Well, if they have
Okay.
cell phones,
Well,
yeah,
because
probably, right?
that's what I'm saying. If they jam cell phone lines, and I'm just thinking from Angola standpoint. Angola is right now, like today, right now, where Michael is, has no power. Like there's no power. Power's out. Yesterday the power went out during visit. So I'm just thinking if there's no power, do landlines work? Because I'll tell you, Angola's still in the Stone Age. They're using landlines. They're using fax machines. They're using. I mean, they don't even have like the only place there's computers is in
Well,
the front,
I
like the
wonder,
front
does
when you
this
get checked
does
in.
this would this not jam like the CO cell phones?
Yeah. And I'm thinking too, you think about Beeline at Angola is where you have a whole subdivision of where workers live. There's houses, there's schools, there's churches, there's all kind of stuff. If you jam a cell phone line in or cell phone signals within the prison, how is that going to interfere with families living on Angola's prison grounds? I know that's a very rare a thing to happen, but that's something that we think about when I heard the story come out. Like, how is it going to affect the families on Beeline? But I get it. I get I get why they want to do it. They want to cut down on contraband, but I just But interfering with emergency signals emergency services to me that's scary.
Yeah, that's when it becomes a possible issue in my mind. Like like I understand the want to block the cell phone from communications and the safety precautions there. I'm not like dumb and acting like I'm like, why is this happening? But like they need to have some kind of workaround even for their own safety.
Correct. They need to have some type of backup system. I know they use radios, but would that impact the radios as well? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how all that electronic stuff works. But very interesting. I would like to see how this would play out if it does get passed by the FCC. All right, I have something from a little Alabama. A judge granted a new trial. This was at the end of August. A judge grants a new trial for Alabama death row inmate after powerful evidence. Christopher Barber has spent over 30 years in prison for a 1992 murder that happened in Montgomery, Alabama. And DNA testing raised some questions. And he obviously is now getting another shot at justice. A federal judge has ordered a new trial in his case. And even though the Alabama prosecutors have pushed to explain to get rid of the DNA evidence found on the victim, this evidence already points to someone already in Alabama prison that was charged for an unrelated rape and murder already. So they found evidence of another person in the Alabama DOC with the DNA evidence, but the prosecutors are trying to no, that's not, no, this guy's the guy, because they just don't want to admit that they're wrong. But I'm glad a federal judge is giving him another chance at justice to, if he is truly innocent, he should have his day in court for sure.
I have a piece of, kind of positive reform that looks like it's in the process of trying to be passed in Georgia, which is positive for Georgia. This is called the Georgia Survivor Justice Act. It was passed in the Georgia House with bipartisan support. The act would allow early release for incarcerated domestic abuse survivors when their crime is connected to their abuse. Judges would be able to resentence survivors in shorter terms, a move intended to address how the criminal justice system disproportionately impacts abused women. The bill is awaiting Senate consideration right now.
All right. This would be something like if it was passed in California, this could be something that would help for example, the Menendez brothers.
Yeah, this is absolutely something that is necessary in all states.
Yeah. And, there are people that go after their abusers because they are trying to stop the abuse, and, they get these really harsh sentences. I'm thinking of also Centoya Brown.
I can think of countless people.
Yeah. How many people, especially women going into the system, have probably been either sexually or physically abused. And some of them are trying to get out of that abusive cycle by harming or hurting their abuser, and they end up getting the books thrown at them. So I love that Georgia, even a kind of a red state, is doing this, because it's really looking at, okay, well, why was this crime committed? Let's look at it. Let's look at the whole picture. What was the situation prior to this? You know what I mean? So, and it's giving them a second chance and giving judges the opportunity to give these people a second chance. I'm here for it. Good job, Georgia. All right, are we ready for my crash out? Why I crashed out this week.
Yeah.
What set me off? Okay, well, I told you I'd bring it up, and what up with that? So, I'm going to say it, and I really don't care. I've already said it on Twitter. I've called her out on Twitter. I don't care. Our connoisseurist Attorney General, Liz Murrell, is now trying to ask the U.S. Supreme Court to reinstate death sentences to execute people who committed their crimes under the age of 18 years old. No more JLWOP. I want to kill people that committed crimes at 14 years old and 15 years old. And what popped in my brain was George Stinney. She wants to pull George Stinney's all over Louisiana.
Why does she have?
And if you don't know,
why does she have some kind of
go ahead.
Death king?
It must. I mean, waking up and wanting to kill people, being so pro-life. She's willing to go after doctors in New York and extradite their asses. But she wakes up every day bloodthirsty, wanting to kill someone, wanting to waste taxpayer dollars, and wanting to kill someone.
Can someone get this woman into therapy?
It must make her panties wet. I really don't know what's wrong. And she, like I said, she wants to pull the George Stinneys she wants to be, I'm so tough on crime. I'm killing children. I'm so pro-life. I'm killing children. What? If you don't know who George Stinney is, George Stinney was 14 years old, young African-American boy. 10 minutes, the jury decided that he was guilty, was strapped to an electric chair and electrocuted at 14 years old.
I can see his face in my mind right now. I'll never forget.
Yes. And this happened in a red state. Let's be
Here.
real.
In our country.
Yeah. So this is what our attorney general wants to do. And the reason why, let me tell you the reason why she's doing this. The reason why she's doing this is because someone, Michael knows him, Dale Dwayne Craig, he was on death row with Michael for when Michael first got there. He was given a life sentence because he committed the crime when he was, I think, 16 or 17. So they couldn't give him the death penalty because of this this 2005 ruling that you cannot execute anyone who committed a crime under the age of 18. It is unconstitutional, y'all. Just saying. And he went up for he was getting ready to go up for parole, and I think he got it, or he was favored to get it. So that's why she's going after him personally, but she's obviously, got her panties wet to kill this man. So I don't know what else to say. I don't understand how Louisiana can go from, this state that had all this positive criminal justice reform in our last administration to now wanting to kill children.
History will not look back kindly on all of the things happening down there, and it's gonna be in the books, and the kids are gonna read about it. And that's all y'all.
We're some hateful motherfuckers down here. I'm just gonna say that.
It makes me say it like I love, I want to visit Louisiana because that's where you're from and stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, everything, it makes me not want to ever even come there because I'm just ew.
Correct. Yeah. New Orleans is a whole. New Orleans, I feel like, is outside of Louisiana. We don't consider ours we're Louisianians, but we are our own little tribe down here, and we're a little different. We're a little bit more blue, I would say that. A little bit more mixed, with the blue in there, the blue dots in there. But the rest of the state, holy hell. I mean, they are some vile people here. Clearly. Vile, hateful people. They are applauding Angola Alcatraz.
Oh, I know. It's the same people that were talking they were setting up alligator Alcatraz. Please. They're we. I'm bitch is saying we as if she's down there setting up the tents and building. You're embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're some hateful people up over here. We don't understand. We don't even. And the thing is, we're highly Catholic state, and it's what we are the biggest bigots ever.
It's so embarrassing because the world's watching.
The world is watching. Yeah, and I'm glad that people are saying y'all are on the wrong side of history. We really are. We really are. Not all of us feel that way, but there are a lot of people here that will not vote against party lines. They're so hardcore.
I don't care what party you're on. If you're gonna have a better future for us, I'll vote for you if you're a fucking Republican. But you're Republicans down there. You guys are kind of bred differently. It feels like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole. I mean, listen, I'm all about this is how I feel. And I'll be honest. I'm going to put this right here, right now. So because I'm very socially liberal, but I'm more moderate than you think because I come from a very conservative background. My whole family is extremely conservative. However, I believe the Republican Party is the party of bad ideas. And then I believe the Democratic Party is the party of no ideas. So listen, I analyze both sides, I will say that being socially liberal, I obviously lean one way, a little bit more one way than the other, because social things matter to me.
And when you have a husband that's incarcerated for life, it's you need to pay attention to these things, especially some of y'all across the country. You can have your own opinions and rights, but you also need to pay attention to the things that these people are rolling out and how they will affect you and your husband. Or your loved one.
And I'll say this: once something rolls out in one state, another state can use that as precedent. So, just saying. Anyway, I was gonna say something, but that I'm not gonna say it.
Self
Should I
control.
say it?
I don't
Should I
know.
say it?
I
Should
don't
I
know.
say it?
I don't know. What is
Huh?
it?
Oh, it's about the classroom, what they want to put up in the classroom.
Oh, I
The world's going to crap. Everybody, you got mass shootings and all this stuff, but we got the 10 Commandments up on the walls in the classroom, y'all. Life's better.
cannot.
Just saying. Okay. That was my rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, are we ready? Oh, do you have nails?
I ripped
No
them off last night.
nails? Okay, well, do you want to talk about real quick before we get into our main card, the artwork that you got? Because that was freaking awesome. And if you haven't gone to Paige's TikTok, her Instagram, or anything, I was gonna say you should put that up. You should put that video up on the
I
pod
will. I was
page
trying to
on
figure out.
Facebook.
That's why I was
Okay,
trying to log into our YouTube last night because I
YouTube.
was like,
Okay.
y'all. My husband did not paint this, for the record. He is, I will say, I said in my video I made that he is not very artistic himself. He took offense to that. So I will have to make well for that insult that I threw in that video at him. But look at this.
Oh my gosh, it's like a galactic family, and I'm here for it.
So
We do have to make Paige get violet hair. Maybe for Halloween we'll spray her
look
hair.
at that.
I love it. The swirls, Jupiter, is it Jupiter or Uranus in the
Saturn.
background? Saturn.
Okay.
Sorry. That's awesome though. Like, I mean, like, first of all, it is so unique. I can't even, like, you will never be able to find anything like that anywhere. Like,
Mm-mm.
that is one of a kind. That is a one of a kind masterpiece. And I love that Joe included all
Of
three of y'all
course.
in the
Mm-hmm.
portrait.
I know. I'm gonna have to hang it.
And I'm assuming the idea came from Halloween,
But,
or is just Brody really into space stuff?
that's like our thing. So like I love like the solar
Okay.
system and
Okay.
astrology and space, and like we always talk about like the universe and us and stuff. So like it's like our thing.
Okay.
So it's
I
even
love
more
that.
personal.
Can I ask, like, is it somebody that Joe knows, like, from his yard or from
Yeah,
OMCP
it's a
or?
guy who's on his yard. He actually does a bunch of paintings for a bunch of people in there. It's funny, I posted it and then Indy messaged me and she sent me because I guess Rich had one done for her too, and I was like, oh my god, and it was the same
Okay.
artist, so it was like all cool. It's just awesome how they all like support each other in there and
Yeah.
make things like this to send home to us that are so special. That's why I was like, when I got the painting and I made like, I was like, I want to make something more than just like opening this. I want to talk about like the shit that they go through when they paint in there. You know what I mean? Like, or when they make
Yeah.
art.
I was going to say the video was very informative and educational as well that Paige put out, because she talked about how important things like having art supplies and having access to art and how therapeutic art can be for people who experience trauma or are in a situation like being incarcerated, and how it gives them a purpose. It gives them, it gives them healing. It gives them therapy, whether, you want to say it's like talking therapy or not. It is therapeutic and healing for them. And it gives them a sense of pride. I mean, I would assume that artist took pride in the work that he did and how beautiful it is. And, so I know Addie also posted something about how prison art is something that should be encouraged. And so it's a very important thing for those in there. So I'm glad that Joe was able to get him to paint that galactic masterpiece. That's what I'm gonna call it. The galactic masterpiece. I wish we had like space sounds, like,
Maybe one day.
like
Maybe one day we'll get there.
I'll try to find something for my sound bird. All right. Did you have any, besides the artwork, the beautiful artwork that you did you have any tweets that you got that
I've
you
been
wanted
so
to
bad at
share?
this, y'all. I keep forgetting the tweets. I keep forgetting.
You did have, I will say though, on your video, you did have a lot of
I
nice,
did.
sweet
And you want to know what's
tweets.
so like interesting to me about that? Okay, I actually do have a sweet tweet. I take that back. I
Okay.
have a sweet tweet. I do. I really do. I take that back.
All right, you want me to play the music while you look?
Sure. I do.
All right,
It's
here
in
we
my
go.
Telegram, so I know it's not far.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So
Buy you 8 seconds.
y'all know that I do bomb party jewelry as my little side
Hmm.
gig. So within bomb party jewelry, I am on a team. Yeah, see, Gigi is all blinged out.
I'm sporting all the jewelry today.
Um, so within, I'm on a team called Bling Mansion, and that's just kind of like when you sign up under someone. So like you do have like a little team. Um, my upline, her name is Gabby. She is not really familiar with prison life or anything prison related. Just as most people that if you don't have a family member or a friend or something, you don't really know about it. She saw
Mhm.
my video as soon as I posted it on TikTok, and she goes, "Oh my!" She posted it in our Bling Mansion team chat. She goes, "Oh my God, Paige Fickus, this is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing this with your followers." And I said, "Thank." I was like, "Thank you for saying that." And she goes, "I will be honest. I don't know much about what happens behind bars, but you sharing little things like this opens my eyes and shifts my thoughts on a lot of things. So thank you."
Wow. And I've talked with Gabby a few times here and there, and I know who she is. And for her to say that, it touches my
Hmm.
heart. So I can only imagine how you feel, and having her share that with a bunch of people who are not maybe familiar with, some people are, but some people aren't.
It's been like such a
Love
nice
that.
blessing having like because I was scared. Part of me was scared to go into this whole bomb party life because I have this
Hmm.
stigma, quote unquote, attached to me. But when I went into it, I was like, this is who I am, and I know that this is who I am, which is why I put myself out there like that. So like I'm gonna confidently go into this, and that's what it is. And I've gotten such a nice response from even more people on my team that said that they like never like were even interested or in things like this or thought about XYZ like this, and now that they do. And I'm like, honestly, that is the most kind compliment you could ever give me, like that you
Yeah.
think about things
I love
differently
that.
now.
Yeah, you're changing the way they see
Hmm.
things, the way because they probably just get it from the
Yeah.
news or media, and it's usually sensationalized. So now you're bringing a real side
Hmm.
to it and showing them something through your eyes.
Yeah, it was cool.
I
Yeah,
love that.
me
Oh, I love
too.
that. A good little
We love a
tweet. I
good
love
tweet.
that. Thanks,
Yes.
Gabby. All right, well, it's time to get into our main. I don't have any mean tweets. I haven't really been. I don't know. I just don't really care anymore about the
Mhm. Mhm.
haters. Um, the people are going haters going hate. I got into the main card, and we have some discussion topics that I found that I thought I would share with you guys, and I think it's good because it's kind of like a few things that everybody kind of questions, and especially since we were talking about our feels, at the beginning of the episode. Like these are questions that may come up. Some people may ask you. You may ask yourself, like things to talk about. If you have a small group of prison wives and y'all want to discuss this, these are some questions that you can talk about, and it's really kind of deep thinkers when it comes to prison wife life. So, all right, Paige, are
Mhm.
we ready? We're going to start hard. All right. Is loyalty always worth it? The pressure of being a ride or die versus knowing when to prioritize your own future. So, is the loyalty worth it? Always worth it?
I feel like it's gonna differ depending on, every person is different. So it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
knowing your loved one and the person that they are as well as you can, because, we aren't there with them every day and we aren't inside their head. So, our best judge of character, I think every person is going to be different. Um, I feel like the guilt that we assign to women who do stay loyal after they get fucked
Mm-hmm.
over is totally wrong, because when they're on the inside they're doing what they think they should be doing, what they are on the page with, that they are holding their man down. And we get judgment if you stay or if you leave. So it's just like, I think every relationship is different, And, I
Yeah.
think that's like your job to decide if this relationship is right. I think you should always be loyal. So, like, I think it's more so like, is this a relationship right for me? Like, and him and us.
Yeah.
And, is this what we want?
Yeah. And listen, um, I hate I hate the word always, because then you say it has to be 100% or nothing, or whatever, and everybody, like you said, everybody's got different parameters within their relationship. I do think there is a kind of like, just adding on to what you said. I think I agree with everything you said. And I think there's also a thing where prison wives have to hold themselves to the standard of being loyal no matter what they get put through. And I think, well, I have to be loyal to him, like I have to do this, or I have to stay with him, or I have to, and it's like, no, you don't have to. You don't, I think loyalty is something that should be a cornerstone of any relationship, whatever that loyalty is defined as by the two people in that relationship, or multiple people, if you believe, if you're polyamorous. I mean, hey, whatever you've agreed upon. But I do think people feel like they have to be loyal even when they struggle, because even when they're not being treated the right way. Does that make sense? Am I saying
Hmm.
that right?
I feel like that's whether you're
And I
inside
think
or outside, too.
I do too, but I think there's a little bit, I want to say, not more added pressure, but it's felt more because you can't be with them every day, because the loyalty really is a test. It is a true test. I mean, this life is, you'll always hear there's nobody more loyal than a prison wife, because we are doing all this without having our partners here. But I feel like there's also some pressure there to be that ride or die. I mean, I really do think that in the prison wife life there
Yeah.
is, and it's so much that it can turn into something negative for both people, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. Okay, just want to make sure I'm saying it right, because sometimes it's in my brain and it doesn't come out right. But the loyalty to me is worth it because I love my husband and my husband's loyal to me, and we have this established relationship. But I know that it's not always worth it to every
Hmm.
person. So, like you said, it kind of depends on what you have going in your relationship. All right. Do you want to do number two, or you want me to do number two?
Sure, I can do it.
Okay.
Is a prison marriage harder than a military marriage? Um, you'll hear a lot of people throw around the quote, "I love a man in uniform." What uniform? Of course, like these
Yeah.
relationships have similarities with like distance and missed milestones, and if you have kids, you're raising kids alone. Um, but they
Sacrifices. Yeah.
are they are very different situations, and I don't feel like necessarily maybe this question is worded in the best way, because it's not that one is maybe harder than the other. They are both, I feel like, hard journeys, and their families that are accepting this hard journey, you know what I mean? Like, also
Yeah.
with incarceration there comes a stigma where, with the military comes honor. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's there's different ways that you're looked at.
Can I just say that I feel like between a military marriage and a prison marriage, like we're the
We
ugly
are. We are.
stepsister.
We
Yeah.
are. That's the perfect way to put it. And like, when it comes to like military families, like your family like huddles around you and supports you. Like maybe they'll get like a meal train ready to go for you when your loved one is across the seas. But like if you are here, like your family isn't probably even going to talk to you. If your loved one is
Yeah.
incarcerated, they're not going to make you a meal train. All right. Like that's just not
Yeah.
what it is. So it's like they are very different situations. Similar but
I agree.
different.
I think there's Yeah, I agree. I think the sacrifice, I think doing this, everything being independent, doing things on your own, is similar. And obviously, I've talked to people that have loved ones who are abroad, or they're in classified situations where they can't contact their loved one for weeks, or whatever. And I can empathize. I very much empathize with military families because of that, because I know what that's like to not have communication, to not be able to see your loved one, to miss those milestones.
Also,
Um, but at the end of the day, theirs is, temporary in
Hmm.
essence. Like, it's not for us. This is it.
Um,
And so ours may be for a longer period of time, if that
I
makes
was gonna
sense.
say also, I know several prison wives who their husband did serve time in the military and now they are
Okay.
incarcerated. So they actually have a taste of both worlds. Unfortunately, a lot of people who do serve have PTSD and other problems that later lead to them getting incarcerated. So it's not an uncommon situation. And they will literally
Correct.
say that the incarceration for them is much more difficult than the overseas experience where they were alone.
Okay.
So I think it is a matter of opinion. I hate the harder like putting it against each other because they are
Yeah.
different, but there's definitely more shame assigned to ours.
Correct. We are the
Yes.
redheaded stepchild. All right. All right, Paige, I'm going to pose this question. And obviously to the listeners as well and viewers, conjugal visits, a privilege or a right? Should they be normalized, expanded, or are they overrated? Oh God, are they
Mm-mm,
overrated?
girl.
They're
No, they
underrated.
are not. Let me tell you, no. as as
Oh my
someone who
gosh.
has been lucky enough to experience family visits, and I can tell you right now that they are very much a positive rehabilitation factor. We've talked about it several times on this podcast. That's going to be the first thing that's taken from you anytime you do anything wrong or get any kind of a write
Yeah.
up. Like, this is used to reduce recidivism. This gives these men or women, a snapshot of what life could be like in an apartment on prison grounds for just a certain amount of time. Like, if anything, that has completely pushed Joseph even more in a positive direction of being like, this is what I want forever. Like, I want these 2 nights that I get, every 3 months to be my reality. I'm going to keep doing everything I can
Mhm.
to positively program and work towards that. And that
Yeah.
has only positively encouraged him. Of course, every other state, there's only a few states that offer these, but the positive, you know, impact that comes from them is so beneficial. I think the way that it's just so like glossed over when other places talk about it is the worst part ever, because it's like, just get a big group of women in the room who have experienced these and they're men, and we'll scream and tell you about how amazing these
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah. And um Elizabeth Greenwood in her book Love in the Time of Incarceration also is a very much an advocate for conjugal or family visits, because she interviewed couples that from all over the country, and especially in New York they have what they call trailer visits, and she said how beneficial these are for not only the incarcerated person but also the families as well.
And they have restrictions
So,
on them too,
but
because there's people will be like, "Oh, you just go to prison and you get to have all these like go getaways." Like, no, if you have like domestic violence or any kind of sexual crime, like sexual offense crime, like you cannot have family visits. So it's like there
yeah.
are there are COs and multiple lines of approval that it has to go through before you even get to that point. So
Yeah. So are you saying that it should be a right or it should be more of used as a
um,
privilege?
it is a privilege, but I don't think it should be a thing that's taken away. Like,
Okay.
obviously, if you are wrong, like what I mean is that they shouldn't take it away from the state. It is completely used in a positive um, program as a positive programming tool. Like they have seen it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the reports and studies done on it.
So it should be, you're saying, this is what I'm gathering. And I'm going to try to put this as the best way I can understand it. You're saying it should be a right in every state, but it should be used also as a
Yes,
privilege. Okay.
I'm not against them using it as a positive programming tool, like the way that they do.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. I think, if you're married, if you have a family with someone, you should have that time. I think that's a human right, to be honest. I don't think, however, that everybody, it's not just a get a card, like a jail, get a conjugal
Hmm.
free card. I don't think it's that. I also don't think it should be for people that are like, oh, they're going to be having family visits now. Let's go get married. I don't think, I think it has to be used the right
Mm-hmm.
way. But I do think it is a human right for a man and a woman to have time
Mm-hmm.
together, more than just a kiss at the beginning of the visit and a kiss at the end of the visit. I mean, let's be real. Like they need to have time as a couple, and I think, like you said, that all of that does, or have time as a family together in a little apartment together and spend time cooking and playing games and doing family
Mm-hmm.
activities. That is positive programming. That is healing. That is reform. And if you don't think that that person, that incarcerated individual, is not going to do whatever they have to do to make sure they have another one of those to do better, and to give them a privilege and a positive, a positive, I don't know what to call it, affirmation, positive, some type of, positivity in their life to keep them going, it's like, what are we doing? You know, we're just traumatizing them more, punishing them more. What benefit is that going to do to our community, to our streets, to everything? When they get
Because a
out.
lot of the time, these people do get out, and no one cares about the things that happen to them behind bars. And it's like that will matter when they come out and they have issues that were unresolved, or they didn't get to program, or didn't.
Yeah. All right. Can we please do number 4?
Mm-hmm. What?
Because I have a feeling this is a hot topic
Oh,
for a
yeah,
lot
is
of
it?
people. I
Okay.
think so.
You want me to say it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's your turn.
Prison wives versus prison girlfriends. Is there a difference in respect? I mean, from California, I can tell you I feel like everyone calls themselves a prison wife, even when you're not a prison.
Well, I mean, like, okay, I'll take me. I'm not legally a prison wife, but I have been committed to Michael for 9 years now, and I feel like if I'm a common law wife, I'm a common law wife at
Mhm.
this point. You
Mhm.
know what I
Well, I
mean?
mean, even the girlfriends
So
that like are girlfriends, like they like, and I can say this even before we got our legal papers signed. I called Joseph my husband, like so. I
yeah,
understand, but it's like maybe it's just me because I don't care about other people, and like I don't like I don't look at at a prison girlfriend or a prison wife any different. Like you are holding someone down
okay,
inside, and we are the same. Like you know what I mean? I
yeah.
don't. That's weird.
Yeah, but I will say, and I'm the same with you. Like, listen, if you're committed to somebody, it doesn't matter if you have a piece of paper or not. I feel like that's between you and God or whoever. Like that's between the couple and their all higher power, if they believe, if that's what they believe, or just their beliefs personally. Um, but I know that there are some in some of these
Hmm.
groups and out there that think, oh, you're just a
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like they have that mentality, like I'm far superior and I deserve more respect because I am holding it down and I have a piece of paper that says
I
so.
feel like if
You
anything,
know?
personally, what I've experienced is not that, but women who have been with men for longer periods of time or longer than I've been with Joseph, like almost implying that
Mhm.
they like are like the OGs and they know like so much more than you know what I mean? Like it's like which they
Yeah.
might, but like also like why are this is a competition? I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? Like what the
Yeah.
hell? Like what the fuck? I thought we were holding our men down.
You're
I thought we
right.
were getting ranked by who like has been here the
Yeah.
longest or like what the fuck.
You get a little award. You get a like this should and I hate saying it like this because I don't believe in like participation awards, but it's like we're all in this together and everybody gets a gold
Mhm.
star for just doing
Mhm.
this. I mean, and listen, I give mad. I will say that I do have a lot of respect for the women that I know that have been here for decades. I do. I have a lot of like, and in essence, they are kind of an OG to me because they've been holding it down for a long time. I feel like they do deserve respect there. But would I be like, oh, you're so much better than me?
Yeah, and I'm not
No.
let's
You know
make
what I
it clear
mean?
I'm not saying they don't deserve respect, but I think it becomes
No, no, no. I know
I
you're
think it
not. I'm that.
Hi,
That's
can I
just
finish?
my.
Hi. It's okay.
Oh,
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
My ADHD, I'll forget. I my thing is they not that they don't deserve respect. I think absolutely everyone deserves respect. I think it becomes a
Mhm.
problem when they try to make other wives or people feel bad or feel like less because they have been on this journey
Correct.
for less time.
Correct. That's what, yes, I agree with that 100%. Sorry, I didn't mean
Okay.
to
My
interrupt you. I
ADHD
was
would have forgot.
just, we were getting, I was just getting I was getting into it. Sorry. I'm the same way. I'll forget what I want to say too. So I feel you. I totally feel you. All right. And okay. Are we ready for numero
Yes.
cinco? Okay. Social media support groups, Lifeline or toxic?
I'm biased.
I mean, we're
Mhm.
both biased because we have such an amazing support group that is a
Mhm.
lifeline to thousands of women and men having a loved one incarcerated. But I do also see places and spaces where it is
For sure.
toxic. It is bully behavior. It is giving
Mhm.
exploitation and
Mhm.
desperation, and trying to get fame for the wrong reasons, if that makes sense. Like I see both
The
sides.
drama or like gatekeeping or
Yeah.
like again going back to the competition like thing where like oh well
Mm-hmm.
I we have to deal with this or this, you know what I mean? And it's not a support group, it
Yeah.
turns into like
A
yeah,
bitch
like
fest, basically,
like,
and a
yeah,
Tommy
support groups
Topper.
can be bitch fest, don't get me wrong, like I love a good
Hmm.
bitch, but like it turns into something toxic rather than
Correct.
a
Like,
positive conversation.
well, my prison's worse because we
Yeah.
have to do this, or
Yes.
like,
Or like your
yeah,
journey is so
yeah,
much um mine is so much harder than yours because of this. Like it's like, okay,
yeah,
I thought we were here to help each other, not like
yeah. If you have to state that coming out the gate, I'm
yeah,
questioning a few
like yeah,
things.
like
You know
why
what
are
I
you
mean? Like,
acting like that?
yeah. All
I would
right.
just say for those communities, y'all, when it comes to protecting your
Mhm.
peace on online communities, put that as your number one rule. And like if a group is
Correct.
giving you like bad vibes, then just leave it. And like there are a lot of prison wife groups, and there are a lot of different kinds of people that are prison wives. So just keep that in mind when you join certain ones. And you know, like our group, for example, we kind of sometimes get we kind of get heat from people that are like, "Oh, why do you have to make us submit our loved one?" like or something like that. And it's like it's not
Yeah.
because we're curious or want to know anything about your life. We are, you know, doing our best to protect the people in the group from someone coming in with a bad or ill intention because that has happened. So like that's another thing you need to think about when you enter into some of these groups that don't even have like any kind of privacy walls or any kind of like confirming that you have a loved one. There's all kinds of people in these groups, from COs to people who just want to stir the pot. So just keep that in mind.
Correct. And now, these social media platforms make it that much easier for you to remain
Mm-hmm.
anonymous. So you really don't know who's in these groups. So when you're posting stuff or when you say something and you get all these people coming at you, you don't know who they are or what their
Mm-hmm.
intention is. All right, your turn.
Number six, do kids benefit or suffer more from keeping contact with an incarcerated parent? Um, I mean, I think that there's emotional benefits to staying in connection, and there's also, you know, trauma that comes along with prison exposure and like a kid that has to go to visit a prison like that, you know, there is
Hmm.
reality behind both truths, if that makes sense. So you know, I
Yes,
think age matters a lot when it comes to when you say kids, like toddlers versus teens, like they're going to handle the situation a lot differently. So it's
yeah,
kind of like
for
weighing the
sure.
impact on it, like, you know, like thinking about like what school age they are and the kids around them and like, you know, being able to pull yourself
Yeah.
together. I told Joseph one time, I was like, I worry about bringing Brody for our family visits for the sole fact of when we have to leave. Like, I am a mess when we
Yeah.
have to leave myself. Like, I'm bawling and hysterical, and like, I usually have a panic attack. Like, Brody's not going to be able to understand. What do you mean we're leaving, Joe? You know what I mean? He'll be like, what? And then he'll get
Yeah.
upset. And then I like think about how do I manage mine with his, you know? Like, It's a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of emotions, it's a lot of trauma, but I also I know that children are resilient. And I see this with my own students every year. A lot of my kids come with a lot of stuff, at home, and they're resilient and they're strong and they just keep
Hmm.
going. And I don't because they don't have to deep think about all of these things. They just keep pushing forward. A lot of them. A lot of I mean, some of them are deep thinkers, but I'm not saying all. But a lot of them just keep going. They just wake up and they do what they need to do the next day. So I would say there's more benefit to having that contact because you're allowing that parent to play a role in their life, even if they're not physically present. And I like my friend Jessica, I mean, her kids grew up in Louisiana DOC. And I don't think, they're beautiful girls. They're beautiful people inside and out. Inside for the most part, they're beautiful on the outside, but their person, like their personalities are so beautiful and they're so caring and kind. And I think, if they didn't have their father in their lives, all the things that they would be missing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, I feel like it also it depends too on if um what like if the kid how old the kid is and if the kid has a say in like do
Correct.
they want to be there or is this you wanting them to go and forcing them to go type deal,
Correct.
because
Yeah.
I have heard situations of both.
Yeah. I also think both parents need to be on board. Like it can't just be I'm bringing them and the other, because there are a lot of dads and moms in prison. Like I don't want them coming. I don't want them seeing me like this. I don't want them seeing this
Hmm.
place. Like, that some parents put a wall up. And I think forcing it is way a
Yeah,
lot
you gotta talk it out, especially if the kid is old enough to like make their decisions. I feel like they should be involved in the process
worse.
of deciding if they want to go or not.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Are you
Yes.
ready? I like this one. The stigma of being a prison wife. Do you hide it or own it? Is it shame or empowerment?
I feel like this has just recently like kind of changed for me.
Yes,
Like
ma'am. Same.
even going back to me talking about all of this with Mom Party and stuff, like it used to be a part of my
Hmm.
life that I did not broadcast or want people to maybe particularly know about me. And now it's part of me and it's like either you accept that or you don't. I don't really care.
Yeah. I've decided to take the stigma and mold it to empowerment. I was like you in the closet for what 7.5 years. I was in the closet, and all of a sudden, almost 8, and then now here I am with this pod has really helped me take the hate and the negativity and the stigma and turn it into something empowering. And the great thing is people see that and they're like, okay, good for you. Like,
Hmm.
like they're not shaming me. They're seeing me in this new light and taking and owning my journey and saying this is my truth and I'm here to talk about it. And I'm not going to sit here and exploit my relationship, but I'm also not going to hide and cower down and say I'm not just another dumb prison
Hmm.
wife. You know what I mean?
I agree. I like love that. And I think that there's still ways that I kind of will not be in the closet, but sometimes uh, maybe like protect the stigma in certain ways. So like for example, just as an example, there was a show that reached out to me to actually have like them come here and film us. It's y'all can Google it.
Mhm.
It's called My Extraordinary Family. They kind of do like a little 30-minute video of you and your family, and usually it's people that are extraordinary families, so like not the normal mom dad home with the kids type view. And they wanted to come film me my life with Joe and Brody specifically, and that was something
Mhm.
that I just was not ready for. I did not really want to put Brody's face in the middle of something like that. The way I am with it, and I talked with Joe about it too. I was like, I think something like that would make me feel a lot more comfortable when Brody is like older, and if he decided he wanted to put
Yeah.
his face somewhere like that's not, I picked this life. He didn't pick this life, so I'm like, I want to
Yeah.
kind of protect him
I
that
think
way.
that's fair. Yeah, and then obviously doing a little bit more deep digging because you had that offer. I had the offer from the same production company to do Love Don't Judge. So the people that do Love Don't Judge also do this extraordinary family thing. And I realized what they wanted was for me to create an argument with someone in my family to talk about the stigma and how I'm being judged, which is I understand where they're coming from, but I think it's more detrimental than positive, if that makes sense. Because they wanted me to get my mom on camera being like, you're marrying you're with a murderer. Like they wanted her to do all that. And I'm like, Mom, first of all, that was my mom's initial response, which is totally understandable. It's not her response now. And bringing all that up and rehashing that is at this point not
Yeah.
beneficial.
Just
you
fake,
know?
and it's like, what's the point of that?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I get what you're saying, to be fair to Brody, to not have him do that unless he wants to be a part of that. But and I'm not saying their intentions were bad. I'm just saying that they wanted to kind of really exploit the stigma part of it.
They want
And
to use.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think changing the narrative and not giving into that really does show the empowerment side. Like, yes, I'm here to fight the stigma. Yes, I'm here to talk about the stigma, but I'm not here to dramatize and sensationalize the stigma. I'm here to more empower. And that's where I guess our head space is.
The next
All
one
right.
is, are you really single until he's free?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy to me.
Crazy because it says some prison relationships don't count. But
I guess society's tendency to minimize our relationships
Yeah.
and say that they're not real, basically, is what that's getting at. And, as all of y'all probably have the same mindset as us, that question is pretty ridiculous because our relationships are pretty real.
yeah, and this is probably coming from an F boy. I could take care of you till he gets out. I could take care of you till he gets
Like
out.
what?
And yeah.
No thanks.
I think that there are some couples that have open relationships, whether they're inside, whether they're out here. They do have some that are inside that have understandings and but at the same time it's still a committed relationship. So I would say no. Like you have your own relationship and what you can do within the parameters of your relationship, but you're still not technically fully single.
Yeah,
Does that make
no,
sense?
it's the
Okay.
same as if like Joseph was out here. Like, you know what I mean? I don't act any more different.
Yeah. Amen. All right. Question numero 9, number 9. The financial strain no one talks about. Phone calls, commissary, visits. How much is too much to give? And we've hit on this, I'm sure, in previous pods, but we always say if you're having to give and you have nothing left for yourself, shame on you.
Shame on your loved one.
Because yeah, and shame on your loved one because they should not be putting that pressure on you. I know women that put $500 a month on books. I'm like,
what?
Who? Please tell me how to find this money because I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Like, or they're like, I gotta work extra. I gotta work extra to make $500 for his commissary and make rent and like you're like no.
What does he need that for?
I know the economy and I know things in prison go up. When stuff out here goes up, you bet your bottom dollar stuff in
I know
prison
that,
goes up.
but like, what is he just buying
but-
everything and just having like a snack cafe in his fucking cell?
Yeah, I'm thinking of like those guys that have
Yeah,
the
like
the commissary riches, like the whole cell is covered like the floor is covered in commissary. Like, what do you need? I know that they can use it as currency in there. I do, but baby girl, if you are if you're struggling to make ends meet and you're worried about his commissary before your own house, the roof over your head, ooh, nay,
Yeah,
nay.
you're gonna find yourself in a bad situation pretty quick.
And that resentment builds up hella fast. So listen, there are some months Mike doesn't get anything from me.
Same.
And there are some months that I have a little extra and I'm able to give to him, or I'm able to buy him a package or whatever. But please don't sacrifice your finances because they're putting the pressure on you to put stuff on commissary. If they're putting pressure on you, shame on them. Yeah.
The last one we have, number 10. Would you still be together if he wasn't locked up? No, that's when I would leave him. Actually, when he gets out, when this is all done, and when he finally is out, that's actually when I plan to leave, y'all.
Hey, I've heard every story under the book, and that is one of them. I'm sure I've told you the story about the woman who waited 10 years. Yeah, they prefer this lifestyle. However, that's very few and far between. I will say that. We talked about this yesterday, how on each other we would be with if he got out. Like, because I'm like, well, maybe you need time to you need your own time to adjust and all this stuff. And he's like, hell no. Like, we're gonna go to the grocery together. Like, we're gonna go, we're gonna do stuff together, to make up for all this missed time.
I'm ready. Like, hell.
Yeah, bring it. Like, going to the grocery with Mike would be like going to Disney World for me. Like, I would have so much fun.
Y'all, I don't go to the grocery store, but I would go with Joseph.
I would go. Yeah. I do pickup. I do drive up, pickup, or delivery. Yeah. But if he's here, we're going and we're going to have fun. Yeah, I know this is like they say it's a gut check conversation, but we would be together. There's no doubt in my mind. And if you do have a doubt in your mind, then that's something that you need to work through, because if he's not willing to be there for you on the inside, he's probably not going to be there for you on the outside. And if you're feeling like, well, I don't know, if he gets out, he may leave me, then you need to say, okay, maybe this is not a good thing for me. You know what I mean?
Because you shouldn't have to be like, that's,
But yeah, together forever. Well, those were some good questions. I like that. And if you want these questions, guys, we will post them in our on our Facebook page, and that way you can have access to them. If you want to talk with another prison wife or even your loved one, go through these questions together. All right, Paige. Well, it looks like I am getting a little phone call from someone quite special to us.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Frederick,
an inmate at Florida Correctional Institution.
Gosh, can I just say how much I miss Florida Fred when we take a week off? I really miss him. That's Florida Fred giving us a call, letting us know it's time for your questions and comments. We did have 2 questions this week. So no speaky pipes. I miss hearing from y'all. So hit us up on the speaky pipes, guys. Our link is on our link tree on Instagram or TikTok. And we have 2 questions. So Paige, you want to do your question first?
The first question we have is from Miss Addie, and she said, what DOC policy change would instantly make your life 30% more livable?
Oh, Addie the baddie. I love it.
It's a hard one.
Ooh. Would make my life 30% more livable? Family fucking visits.
Yeah, I'm over here like week-long family visits, maybe?
Ooh,
like
okay.
That would be cool. A whole week disconnecting. Sign me up.
Wow. Yeah. Or at least 5 days, like a whole,
My
That would
depression
be
would
amazing.
definitely lower.
Yeah. I would take any days. I would take any amount of days or hours that I could have with my husband, even if it was just like a visit day from like 6 to 4, and we
It's like Into the
got
Dove, like Into
alone
the Dove,
time.
where you get like a
Yeah.
hotel room. Yeah.
Yeah. We get like a little, you can put us in a little trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. We just have that whole day
That'd be
together.
cool.
Yeah. That would make my life a lot easier. Because then I know it would also make, I know the downside of that is, obviously the leaving part is makes it so much harder to leave. But if I was able to get one of those a month,
You're like, you're never gonna hear me complain, babe.
I would never complain. I would never complain
Mm-hmm.
ever again.
Mm-hmm.
You would never hear me talk bad about DOC. I mean, I don't really talk bad about DOC too much, but I would donate to the DOC, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever you need. Like I will pay money for this.
You're like one of the donors.
Yeah. I'm at the gold level. I pay the light bill.
What would y'all do?
Yeah, that would
What
be
would y'all
mine for
do?
sure.
They have to tell us what they would do.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people would say to be able to bring cell phones and to
That'd be
visit, like
cool.
that would be a cool one. Yeah, I would love to hear what y'all say. So yours would be a longer time together, like a week long visit. And mine would just be I'll take anything. I'll take any type of visit. That's a family visit at this point. All right, I have one. Thank you, Addie, for that question. And hey, our friends, comment below, please. We'd love to hear what you say. All right, I have one from Miss Ellen. She actually posted this on our Patreon, but she wanted to talk about us to talk about this on the pod. Ellen said, longer question for the pod. You both mentioned Mike's and Joseph's profiles and writing on their profiles that made you initially write them. Would you be willing to share them or talk more about them?
For sure. I wonder if I could find. Well, I don't think it's online anymore.
I know. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
I might have screenshot it because I know it's not on the actual website anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Mike took his down. I can paraphrase it. I know it by heart. I can kind of paraphrase it.
Oh, I have the
Do you want
screenshot.
me to do that while you're? Okay,
have
you go
it.
ahead. You got the. I'll think about.
I
what
won't
I'm
read the
gonna say.
whole thing because that's all about him. So he basically talks about himself, where he grew up. Growing up, I was heavily involved in sports and enjoyed outdoors immensely. I have been a shy, reserved person until I get acquainted with people. I have a very supportive and loving family whom I love and miss greatly. They are the most important thing to me, and for the most part, made me who I am today. I am a loyal person who fights for what he believes in. Trust, honesty, and communication are huge to me. Without them, there's no transparency. One moment of reckless action landed me in prison. This is my first incarceration. I've been incarcerated since I was 21. Through this journey, I have gained perspective on how precious life is. I frequently get asked, what are you doing in prison? I attended college and had a good job and an awesome support system of friends and family. However, being human, we are all prone to mistakes, and I made a gigantic one. I regret that mistake every day, and I am working painstakingly hard to recidify that. I am in search of a lasting friendship and whatever other endeavors life has in store for me. If I've piqued your interest, feel free to contact me. You could say he piqued my interest. Look at us now, 4 years later, almost
Yeah.
four and a half.
Love it. He piqued
sure
your
did.
interest for sure. And what a well written profile.
And
I
of
will
course,
say.
he got me at the end with he was like, I'm not looking for love, because I wasn't looking for love. I wouldn't have picked someone that said I'm looking for love.
Yeah, I agree. Same. Mike's was kind of similar, obviously, talking about his want to connect with people and that most people don't give him, like, he doesn't have a lot of opportunities for connection. And that, he's not for everybody, and he accepts that about himself. But he just wants to find a meaningful connection, and whatever that is. He didn't say, I'm looking for love. He's like, I just want to make a friend and find a connection and find a common ground. And his was like all about his profile was more revolving about that connection aspect. And that for me, like, most people, he even said like, most people won't give me a chance or give me a time of day, but I'm worth it. I promise. And, I believe in honesty and I believe in being straightforward, and you're going to get me, basically. Like, you're going to get me. I'm not going to be somebody else. And just that genuineness in his profile is what really led me to him, because it seemed like I was reading them, and a lot of them were very short. His was like
So-
three
so was
paragraphs. Yeah, it was kind of long. So I was like, okay, well, this dude can obviously form a thought, and put. It just seemed like, and it sounds like with Joseph too, they just put effort into their profile. It wasn't just like, oh, I just want to talk to somebody, or, oh, I'm just looking for love, or looking for a wife, or looking to be your next man, or whatever. Because some of them do say that, you'd be surprised.
Or or they just say they're looking for a
and
love connection, which they're absolutely allowed to do and
Correct.
put out there. But like someone like me, like I wasn't on there, like, oh, looking like, as everyone likes to write their own narratives about what we're doing on there. I was not on there looking for a loved one. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I wasn't looking
No.
for a boyfriend. In fact, I was with somebody at the time. So I was just looking to reach out to someone that I felt needed, a friend. And so, or just to let them know, like, hey, you're still a person to me, basically, And when I read Michael's, I was just like, yeah, he's the real deal. He's genuine. He's looking for a connection, not a romantic relationship. And so that's what stopped me in my tracks. Because I had been looking for a little while, before I had decided, or once I came across Michael's, I was done. It was so funny. I was telling Michael, I was looking at one of the guys that's on death row in Louisiana. I was looking at his profile, and then right before, and I went to Michael's, and I'm like, okay, gut reaction, done. This is it. This is the person, And I was like, can you imagine if I wrote to so and so versus you? And he's like, I don't even want to think about it. Like,
Yeah.
like. So I'm glad, and it was all more about, for us, obviously, more about the content versus what people think. Oh, you're just looking on there to find somebody to love them. And that's like, or you're looking for a relationship. And that was not our journey for Paige and I, for sure. So. Well, friends, that was the two questions we had. Hopefully, Ellen, that answers your
Yeah,
question.
that's fun.
If I can find the actual screenshot, I will save it. I'll find it. But Mike, as soon as we kind of made things serious, he took down all of his profiles
Yeah.
that he could
Yeah,
take
same
down.
with Joe. Well, he only had one.
And that's
He
how
only
you
had
know
one.
it's real. Okay, well, because Mike's on death row, they give death row, for some reason, they give death row inmates or incarcerated people, they give them like some
That's
free
cool. They
ones.
should.
Like Locked Vault or something is one that's free for death row
I love
incarcerated
that.
individuals. Yeah. So he has those maybe still up. I don't know. I haven't really done, I don't Google search
I
anything.
wouldn't be worried about it.
But yeah, but Mike, but there are threads where people are talking about Michael Taylor, like writing him. So I know,
That's weird.
but they're old. They're from like 2014,
Isn't it weird though? It's
2013,
like you see
like,
it and you're like, I don't care if this was before I even knew him. Don't talk about my like don't.
Yeah. Who is this person, and who is she to you?
It's probably someone.
Are you
It's
pimping
probably
yourself
someone who
out?
wrote him one time and he like never responded, and you're like, who is it?
Yeah, yeah. Or someone. It seemed like someone was thinking
yeah,
of
yeah.
writing to him, because it was a thread about Michael Taylor. There's another Michael Taylor on death row in
Oh.
Alabama, and they were talking about him, and they were like, well, what about this guy in Louisiana named Michael Taylor? Has anybody written to him? And I'm like, oh no, ho. Back
You're like, he's married.
like,
Thank you.
and then I look at the timestamp and it's like 2013, and I'm like,
You're like, I
Okay.
may have been married at this time, but it's still not okay.
yeah, you're mine. But yeah, hopefully hopefully that goes through all the questions, Ellen, and that you had for us. And I think that's all I have. Paige, do you
That's
have
it for me,
anything
man.
that you
I'm
wanted to add?
done.
I do want to say one thing. The conference, Connecting for Justice, is happening in the beginning of November 4th and 5th in Las Vegas. We still have our code LOVE, LOVEWW25. It's good to get a discount on the fees for the conference. The fees do cover both days. They do cover some food, and obviously the facility and all that stuff. We do have our code. It is good until September 19th to take off, I want to say $50 off the registration fee if you are interested in going. That's all really though that I had. But yeah,
Cool. That's it.
we're good. Yeah.
We're done.
We're done, you guys. We're done. We're donezo. I'm gonna be like Kristen from Laguna Beach. Oh my God, we're so donezo. Stephen.
Period.
Well, guys, we hope you have a beautiful week. And comment below your what did we ask them to comment?
Did we ask?
Oh my God, I forgot. Oh, they're 30%
yes,
better.
yes.
What would make your life 30% better? Make sure you comment because we love to read the comments, you guys, and engage with you. So we hope you have a great, fantastic hump day, a great
Happy
weekend,
September.
and and happy September. Welcome to
We're
September,
on
guys.
iHeartRadio.
It's almost fall. Thank you. I totally forgot to mention that. We are now on iHeartRadio podcast, you guys.
Shout out to you if you're listening to us on there.
Yes. And shout out to our iHeartRadio peeps, brand new spanking. And y'all, we're taking over the world. Help us take over the world.
Period.
We love you guys. And thank you for being here with us on this journey and being awesome. We love our Wallers.
Love y'all. Bye.
Besitos. Bye, guys.
This is for the ones who love through the distance, for the ones who stay solid while time keeps ticking, for the ones who hold it down but never lose themselves. This is for the prison wives. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go, I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head. They don't see the late nights, letters on the table, fighting through the system, just trying to stay stable. They don't see the count days, they don't feel the time crawl. They just see the sentence, but they don't see the love at all. Yeah, I made the vow and I stand 10 toes. Still got my life, still got my goals. I hold it down cause I choose to stay. This love got walls, but it don't got chains. Don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go, I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head. I'm a prison wife, but I'm still my own. Made my own moves, still stand on my throne. They think I'm just sitting here wasting my days. Nah, baby, I've been building while he counting the days. I ride for my love, I ride for my king, but I ain't no fool, I handle my biz. I ain't weak, I ain't lost, I ain't throwing my worth. I hold it down cause I know what it's worth. Through the letters, through the calls, through the gates, through it all. Love don't break, love don't fade. I'm still here, I'm still brave. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go, I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head.
Don't break, love
I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break.